Rugby Sevens World Series. Game 8 on day 1 at Dubai. It is more Pool D action. First appearance in Dubai for the tournament for Australia. And they are taking on Kenya. And head-to-head, well, the Aussies lead 26-11 over the years in the World Series. But they have won the last 10 matches straight. Kenya haven't beaten Australia since the Gold Coast in a quarterfinal 2012. Here's the Australian lineup, and one name to look out for. Number 1, Henry Spate. He is the 5-cap Wallaby, born in Fiji, playing for the Brumbies and now the Wallabies. Ed Jenkins is the captain, and some good experience there in the likes of Stennard, Clark, Foley, and also Lewis Holland. For Kenya, some familiar names there, including their captain, the inspirational number 11, Collins and Jura. Well, they make their way out. Kenya in the white shorts and predominantly red jerseys. Australia have a new strip, the yellow and gold with the Australian map on it. The Gilbert ball arrives. Day 1 of the Emirates Dubai Sevens, and slowly but surely the crowd's building up. Very hot day, as you would expect in the desert. So Henry Spate there, just got a glimpse of him on screen in jersey number 1. Our referee is Nick Bryant from New Zealand, his 95th match on the World Series 7 circuit. Very experienced indeed. Greg Clark with you alongside me, Carl Tunana. It's hot out there.
Oh, most definitely, Greg, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Australian team puts up in this first game. They've had the best pre-season coming to this. They've won the Oceanias by a mile, the fittest team by far, and I think they'll be too strong for a Kenyan team, even though unpredictability is their middle name. But this Aussie team looking very sharp early on.
So Australia get their campaign underway, and it's plenty of hang time from Stannard, but a good take there from Mbaka for Kenya. About 12 from halfway.
Come on, release now, go!
They've got key players all over the paddock, match winners all over the park, Kenya, but they just need good discipline and also patience. And at the moment, they're just trying to find a hole. That was Umar. Now the cutout pass to Mbaka, turning it back on the inside to Billy Oriambo. Still inside their own territory. Looking for space on the outside, and this man loves a bit of space. Collins and Jura turning it back on the inside now to the support player. Good defence there, though. And the penalty goes against Australia. So a minute gone, and Kenya working their way upfield. Lugonzo. Mbaka having a run. Up to the 22. This is good continuity for them. Adema fires it across to Indira, and it's 2-on-1 over on the far side. Jenkins has to get across there. He stood off and waited for his man, and it was a good tackle in the end that brought him down. And so after all that, they come up empty-handed, Kenya. Yeah,
Bushambwale has to stay on the outside. I think Oyumba does all the work. He's looking for him to stay on the outside. He cuts in, and good work there from Jenkins, the captain for Australia.
And it was also Foley that went low. So they put it into touch. Australia finished 5th in the last series. They won the Oceania Olympic qualifier in their last event, beating Tonga 50-0 in Auckland. And Kenya finished 13th last series. They qualified for Rio Olympics through the African qualification. Got there after the full-time hooter in the final against Zimbabwe. And there's a mistake. Just taking his eyes off the ball there. Lewis Holland was sizing up the opportunities before he had the pill in his hand.
Yeah, 101. You've got to look after the ball first. You see there Lewis Holland, his little Bo Peep, where he's going to deliver the pass before he secures the one from Stannard. And this is a huge opportunity for Kenya. He looked pretty quick and pretty good with their passing, Greg, early on, but they've got a short attacking line for them to take contact.
Sit.
Lugonzo putting the ball in. And nowhere for Adema, but advantage being played because it was a high tackle, so They go out wide to Odhiambo on Spate. And Spate shows him the touchline, but Odhiambo does well to offload. And now the recycle, looking to spread them wide on the far side, but straightening up there was Mbaka. And now he gives it to Lugonzo. And he is in. Well, they had the weight of the possession. Kenya, Australia making the mistake inside their own 22, and they pay for it.
Well, this is the best I've seen this Kenyan team for a very, very long time. But look at the work from number 12 here. William Mbaka straightens up just a little, draws in Sammy Myers, who gave away that penalty, and they make them pay all right. Lugonzo right next to the horns.
Go quickly.
Too much possession and space. Biko Adema adds the extra 2, so it is 7 points to 0. Kenya over Australia, Pool D action. Kenya becoming their country's 3rd team sport to ever qualify for the Olympic Games. The team scoring in sevens has the restart. A bit of hang time there as well as Jenkins waits and takes it. So Australia without any pill, and now good pressure at the breakdown, and Spate putting on a bit of footwork and a sloppy pass, but it's been cleaned up by Jenkins, so they just need to settle things down a little bit. Now it's Foley to Spate on debut at sevens. Holland up towards the 10-metre mark, gives it to Cameron Clark on the far side. Nothing happening there, so he goes to ground, lays it back, and again good pressure at the breakdown by the Kenyans. Foley across to the veteran, Stannard. And now Myers, and Sam has a run into Kenyan territory.
On your feet.
And it pops out to the side, so sloppy play at the breakdown again by the Australians, and it's out the side again, and now they might get it back.
On his foot, play on.
Play on. Myers decided to dive on it to try and clean it up, and Kenya now go in looking for it, and they get the penalty.
Well, as you highlighted, Greg, some great pressure at the breakdown from this Kenyan team. They've gone away from it the past couple of seasons, but it really is a strength of theirs. See them here, look at the numbers, 3 on each side, but it's very scrappy from both sides.
Kenya leading by 7 points to 0. They'll have a line out just inside Australian territory. 1.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Also in Pool D, there is England and Wales. So it's like the pool of death from the Rugby World Cup 2015. England, Australia and Wales in the same pool. And this time, Jenkins got up pretty high and it was knocked on. So it's advantage here for the Kenyans, and wobbly old ball, but cleaned up. That's a terrific copybook tackle. Still there though for Kenya. Advantage is over. They'll work to the short side. The inside ball now to Umar. And Stannard holds his ground, throws him into the turf. Stannard was the tackler, so he's allowed to play the ball, but now he's gone off his feet.
As soon as you're on the ground, move away.
Taken quickly by Adema, trying to catch them napping. And now it's the try scorer, Lugonzo. He pops one over the top. Spader's out there, but terrific angle running there from the number 5, Odhiambo, and that's gone forward, unfortunately, for Kenya, because it had 7 points written all over it.
Oh, he just needs to get back 2 more metres. That's just lazy running on the outside. Here's the release from Odhiambo. He does everything right. Lugonzo, the try scorer, thought he was there, but Bush and Wale, you've got to do the hard yards. You've got to go backwards before you go forwards.
So I understand what you're saying.
So Australia just haven't been able to get the ball into the hands of Spate or Clark on the other wing.
Fine.
As the halftime siren sounds, 7 points to 0 Kenya. Stannard puts it in. Now he gives it to Holland, who goes wide to Spate. 10-metre mark, releases and goes again.
Release Reds!
Now it's Stannard. And running onto it is Myers, and a good ball and all tackle from Endurant to try and hold him up. And now it's released, the tackle, but it's gone forward. And so Australia can't come up with any points in the first half. It's been fairly lacklustre opening 7 from the Oceania champions. And it is Kenya leading by 7 points to 0 at the break. Australia being coached at the moment by Scott Bowen. And I'm sure Scott, the interim head coach, will have plenty to say as we go to the huddles.
Need to lift it up a notch, eh? We fucking all know. It's that fucking...
boli kitenda soke nyuma tukipande kana ichukua sasa sana tutapata tu idhaa kwa idhaa kwa ya kwenda offload pia ndio so my tu idhaa ukichama side umepiga vizuri alafu kwa defense turudi tu kwa shape kama ule mtu amatoa nje.
Get off the feet. We need to be more active on the ground. Once we made a tackle, get back into the game and reload. You know, either we're reloading to an offset, we're reloading to the short side or open side, okay? So just greater work ethic there. And then just with our possession, just our seal. Just our seal's got to be that step, you know, that step quicker to be in position, talk to the ball carrier, bailing, roll, whatever we're doing, just being that metre second, you know, we're just a bit off the pace there.
And I think just with our attack, let's be more urgent. We're just kind of shifting the ball, giving them time.
But don't predict the switch. Wacha ataka kwenda tu. Kama msako nje bado muwashe, wacha tupatie rats.
And then Kolo, vile tuliongea hapo. Wewe wakijaza hii side na wewe have to guys. Mdunde haraka please. Sasa inaweza rudi. Pushe mdunde haraka tafadhali. Your patience na make the grace.
Ya tuko. And now Kenya.
Getting up close and personal there with the Kenyans. And we do apologise for any colourful language that might come out of the team huddles at half-time.
What the Kenyans, I'm sure, be happy with is the way they're testing the Australians in the 10-metre channels and using those little late cuts to great effect to make and stretch the Australian defence. The Australians talking about getting their second man into the tackle just a little step earlier to get cleaner ball to release on attack. The Kenyans are doing a great job at the moment of disrupting their ball. They just can't get any go forward with possession in hand.
I think the Australians need to back up as well. Spain has been in some space a couple of times and with no support. So second half underway. Can the Kenyans hold on and pull off an upset? Well, they're going to win the kick-off, which is a great start to the second half for them. But now it's been stolen, but the penalty will go against Australia, holding on. So this is going to give the Kenyans a golden opportunity to get deep inside the Aussie territory.
Yeah, no clear release here from Henry Spate. I just like the confidence of this Kenyan team, the crispness of their passes, Greg. Just the way they're going into contact, they're beating the physical battle.
Well, Henry Spate, it's his debut game at Sevens on the World Series. He's just been given a yellow card because not only did he give the penalty away, he threw the ball away. And that is a no-no in Sevens. And so Australia down a man at the moment. So what a great opportunity it is for Kenya as Indira turns it back on the inside. And that's all they have to do, just catch and pass. They've got an extra man at the moment. Odiumbo. One-on-one out wide, and now the double round is Wanyana. Goes ahead up towards the 22. Australia just can't get their hands on the pill at the moment. Spade in the bin for 2 minutes. Indira wants to go to the short side, showing and then potentially giving it away. And now a clear run to the line. They had the man over. And Wanyana will score. And what about this? Kenya. Bit of a try celebration there as well. So Spate watches on in the naughty chair as Kenya put on another 5 points.
Yeah, well, it's quite innocuous. I didn't see Henry Spate throwing the ball away at all. Look at the manipulation. They go to the open, come back to blind. Just the weight of numbers from the Kenyan team. Getting mismatches on their far side of the field. And Frankie Wanyama has the fancy finish and the celebration to go with it. That's when you know the Kenyans are in the mood.
And the conversion is not successful. So here's another look at it. It's party time for Frankie Wanyama.
Is that a iguana? Is that a snake? What's going on? Well, here it is. Here's the yellow card. I think that's average. I'm sorry. The yellow card for that, please.
So Kenya to kick off, and Australia now really needing to be the next team to score in this one, because the Kenyans are on song at the moment, and Australia's restart work has not been great, but now they're going to get the ball, and it goes to Stannard. Across now to Clark. He's got Cusack coming with him, and he gives it to Tom Cusack, who's off the bench, and he takes it up towards the halfway. And again, it's Kenya winning the breakdown, but losing it. So it's a knock on.
Geez, that's a huge let off. Collins and Jera, the old man, applying pressure, and they're back up to their full complement. Are the Australians? Still a lot of time in this game, so no need to panic whatsoever, but they just need to start executing right.
So Palmer Foe is coming on the field, Confoli being replaced. And I don't think Henry Spade will be back after the sin binning. But the teams this year are allowed 5 substitutions, and players can come and go as long as there's no more than 5 substitutions. Now Clark fires it across, and Palmer Foe on the field. What can he... Oh, that was a terrific tackle coming in there from Oriumbo.
Playing a ball with your hands in the ruck.
Advantage here for Australia.
Hands in the ruck.
So 4 minutes remaining, and Stannard.
Well, they can kick it down here. They've got a good set piece to the Australians here, Greg. I like Tom Cusack coming on as well, the big number 12 for the Aussies. I rate this kid.
Another look at Palmer Foe here, and what about the tackle from Billy Oriumbo? Such a dangerous runner is Palmer Foe, but you can't run without your legs. Funny about that. So it goes to Tom Cusack and down to Stannard. Now it's Clark, who straightens. Thought he spotted a gap. Advantage being played here. Holland gives it across to Palmer Foe, the big man, straight into contact, 5 metres out. Now it's Stannard. Fa'alauval putting on some footwork. And they'll try and hold him up, and he goes to ground now. And it's Cusack, who straightens again, taking it into contact. Good strong carry by Cusack. He reaches out and puts it down. So it's taken a while, but they are in.
Oh, he's a big unit, Tommy Cusack, making his presence felt straight away, both in the air and on the ground. Look at him. Just goes down State Highway 1, and the defence of Kenya just fall off, and he's just too big.
So Stannard with a vital kick. No problems from there. So it is 12-7 now. Kenya over Australia.
Look at the determination. Great body position. Ball on the line. Exactly what Australia needed now. Kick-off time. Who's going to be the man to reclaim it for Australia? Who's going to be the man to step up for Kenya in reception?
So Stannard kicking for Palmer Foe, former volleyballer, and he knocks it back, and it's play on, and Clark has it, turning it back on the inside to the try scorer Cusack. Now it's Stannard and Fa'alauval. He has his captain Ed Jenkins with him, and he can't offload, getting dangerously close to the touchline. Plenty of width now as Palmer Foe gives it across to Lewis Holland, and Clark on the angle run. There's that pressure again from Kenya, but now it opens up, and Palmer Foe will run away. Look at him go. Palmer Foe puts it down between the sticks. Kick to come.
Well, you always knew the comeback was going to start at some stage from this Australian team, and now they're starting to find their rhythm now. They're getting into this game. Pressure again by the Kenyans, but they put a lot of numbers in there. And when you do that, it's a 50-50 call. They didn't win the ball. They left themselves exposed. And Palmer Foe gets the job done.
And there's the extra 2. So Australia coming back from 12-0 down on one of the other paddocks here. Earlier on, the Australian women were 12-0 down in the women's quarter-final against New Zealand and came home to win 15-12. So similar scoreline at one stage for the Aussie men as well.
How big are these substitutions been though, Greg, in the second 7 minutes? Tom Cusack, Palmer Foe, outstanding.
And again, they kick for Palmer Foe to come through. This one's a little on though, and Kenya not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. They've got the ball, and they're inside their own territory, and they've got some pace out wide as well. Tackles have to be made. Good strong run from Oscar Umar. Quick hands to the midfield, and the Australians rushing up and forcing the mistake. Good work by Palmer Foe. Well, he had to back himself, because if he didn't convert the tackle, it was an overlap for Kenya.
Well, it's a good jam in here, because see, they comes flying up. They go together. That's the secret. If you stay back, that ball's gone. It's a 2-on-1. Good read in defence by the Australians. Great pressure.
There's the coach of the Kenyan team. He'll be pretty happy with this start, to win or lose, because they haven't had great success in recent times on the World Series. But Benjamin Ayimba is in charge, the coach. So a little over half a minute remaining.
Sit.
Stannard to Holland. And now Cameron Clark getting it across to Palmer Foe. They're always very keen to get the ball into Foe's hands, and now Clark goes to ground. So they need to control it for another 20 minutes, 20 seconds or so. Now it's Stannard. Oh, poor pass. But out there is Jenkins, who now straightens and runs it back in to the traffic, and a head-high tackle there. So that might go against the Kenyans. Only 6 seconds remaining. So they will get away with this one, the Australians. All they have to do is tap it and put it into touch. And Holland does exactly that. So, coming back from 12-0 down, the Australians scrape their way to victory. First up in the Dubai 2015 tournament. Australia 14, Kenya 12. So there's some great competition still to come in Pool D, when you think there's still England and Wales to come for both Australia and Kenya. And look at that there. Australians had to make plenty of tackles, and they missed plenty as well. So now we can get a reaction from the Australian captain, Ed Jenkins, and we can go now to Rupert Cox.
Ed, coming back from 12-0 down, that looked like hard work.
Yeah, especially out in this heat. We probably let them get off to a good start there. We're probably half asleep, actually. In that first half, but the boys dug deep, obviously, in that second half, and came away with the win, which is a good effort from the boys.
Greg Clark was just saying the Aussie women came back from the same deficit to make a semi-final this afternoon, beating New Zealand, so good news for the women as well.
Yeah, we watched their game this morning. It was a lot of courage from those girls, so we probably took a leap out of their book this morning, and it's a good job for them. Hopefully they can make the cup final tonight.
Cheers, Ed.
Thanks very much.